Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Leigh from Creative Leigh on Sunday the 24th of September 2023 with FLOSSTUBE number 194. I'm back. I took a week off last week, thanks to everybody. I had last Saturday I hit a wall and it was a rough day. And I had to kind of give into it and just accept that my body needed me to take a break. But I'm feeling so much better. I feel like I have my energy back and my hearing's mostly improved, almost totally better. My ears aren't hurting, no infection. My eustachian tubes seem to be, I got the name right I think this time, mostly good. I get a little bit of occasional block in this one, but just a little, equalization helps, so it's getting there. And my back is, it was a rough week week before last, and kind of just totally went into massive spasm on the Saturday, probably for about 6 hours. It just locked up and I was in agony, and I sort of had to just give into it and just almost get all freaking zen with you, but one with the pain, and just to let it kind of lean into it, really just accept it and just let it be and just accept the pain and kind of almost relax into it, and then it just sort of came right. So Sunday I actually felt physically like the spasms sort of had stopped, and I just had moved up into like my shoulder blade, and just was mostly when I laid down, which was the opposite of what it had been for 3 weeks. Just any kind of sideways shift, like when you lie down, your spine kind of curves sideways. That really hurts, like to prop up with pillows and stuff. But that's kind of good. I've had 2 nights now where I haven't had to have a wheat sack, which for me meant multiple times heating up a wheat sack, like every sort of hour and a half, get up, heat it up again, go back in, because the heat seemed to be the only thing that helped it. And I'm still kind of propping a pillow behind me just to stop me rolling back and twisting. But it's just I'm able to do stuff, move with confidence, not worry every waking moment that it's going to go into spasms. So finally, it's been a rough bit of time, and it was just starting to get me down a little bit. So I'm feeling much better. Thank you for everybody who has reached out, and I don't expect everyone to reach out. That would be a little overwhelming. Please, I don't need however many thousand something people reaching out. But you could like this video and subscribe if you haven't. People I know a bit better than just on the FLOSSTUBE, really. Reaching out, Instagram, Gmail, comments, and how else do I get people talking to me? However else people talk to me, I really appreciate it, and I'm feeling much better. So took a week off. I did pick up a needle on Saturday week, so Saturday afternoon, last Saturday, I did, after the 6 hours of agony and just basically sitting on the couch after taking a handful of whatever drugs I could find in my house that might work, and I literally took a handful of stuff, just like stopped myself at taking diazepam as well, because I have some of that as an emergency. I was like, probably not a good idea to take that on top of Norflex and Tramadol, but I thought about it. And I just sort of settled into just a ache. And I did actually pick up my start for that week on the Saturday evening, got a bit of a start. Sunday, as I said, I did feel a lot better, just like really sore, like I felt like I'd been beaten up or run over by a bus. And I did a bit more stitching on Sunday. And then by Sunday evening, I was like, yes, I feel like doing some stitching. And then we had a freaking power cut about 6:15 when it was just getting dark. We had a power cut. We had horrendous winds, like some of the wind gusts we had around, particularly the east coast of the North Island and down the top of the South Island and through Wellington and all that. We had some near record breaking wind gusts, like 250 or 248 kilometres per hour. Wellington Airport 130 kilometres an hour, so the airport was closed, so that was too dangerous. It was pretty freaking windy. It was windy. You know, people lost trampolines and outdoor furniture and all sorts of random stuff. And whatever, I don't know what caused it, but we had a power cut in my city, which is a small city, but there were about 7,000 homes that were out, and I think we have about 30, I'm going to make stuff up now, 38,000 homes. So, or no, population's about 38,000. So what's that average of 3 people per home maybe? So it's a big bunch of homes really. And so here I am, yay, I feel like stitching, and the power went out. So I lit some candles and ate things that I could find in the dark, which were some stale crackers and ice cream. So I had stale crackers and ice cream for dinner. And then about 7:30 I thought, well, screw this for a joke, and I blew out my candles and I went to bed with an ebook because at least I could read that. I think the power came on about 8:45. I put a hall light on so I could see when the power came back on, so I could get up and turn off things that I knew needed to be turned off, like the heat pump, because it remembers what it was on. And just read, I wasn't going to get up at 9 o'clock and then start stitching. So that was just a sign really that I just needed to have some rest. Cool. And then I did another couple of days of stitching. I think I did 4 days all in all on my start for that week. And I got my 8th start this week. Yesterday, started that. That's what I've stitched on, but it's more than what I've stitched on the week before, which was barely nothing. That was a lot, right? It's just been a rough time of it. Work is just, I can't really talk about it. It's just a weird place to work at the moment, and I think I alluded to that I need to, anyway. I'm actively engaged in looking at opportunities outside of where I currently work. My job is safe as part of this latest restructure. I don't think it'll survive the next one, just the way the organisation's going and moving more to I don't even know, getting rid of project managers or just bringing project managers in as contractors when projects are needed. And most of the kind of everyday stuff will be done through sort of continuous improvement, using Scrum Masters and stuff. So, which is fine. I just put it this way, I don't think I'm going to be there on my 20th anniversary, which is the 18th of April 2025. So let's see. But I'm not the only one. There's a number of people who are not directly affected by this latest restructure, but are having interviews this week coming. A few of us are just fed up. I mean, in our department, we've had 3, not department-wide, but maybe a third of the department impacted each time, but it's sort of the third restructure within our department, which is about 85 people, in about, feels like it might be 18 months. And some of the people, it's their third one, as in they've moved teams, they've had new team leads, they've had peers that they've lost, and people are just over it, it's just too much. And you sort of haven't really recovered from the last one and managed to embed whatever changes we proposed as part of that. And it's absolutely exhausting. So I don't know, it's not a great culture at the moment. And we've got an election coming up, and that is going to change stuff. And we're expecting across the public sector that we're going to need to find operational savings next year, which may then lead to other people leaving, and that will be then roles driven by we have to save money versus changes due to pressure to save, cut your bottom line is they're really painful because you really do lose functions that you need. Just a bit over it really. It's fine. It's just it's a really, I don't know, it's just a complicated environment that we live in really, isn't it? Yeah, so I did have a wee chat with Dad just before while I did my ironing, because I'm a good girl and I try and multitask. I talked to Dad, he's doing pretty good. Pretty crappy weather up where he is, and he was going over to the neighbours for dinner and to watch some super, I don't know what it's called, some fancy expensive yacht. I mean, all the yachting's expensive, but you know, like the America's Cup type yachts. I don't know what I'm talking about. But they're whatever, the yacht, the boats. And then some Japanese Grand Prix maybe. I don't listen. I'm terrible. So he is doing pretty good, I think. He's got a couple of medical appointments this week, but I don't know. Things he's got to get cut off or fixed. I don't know. Again, to be fair, my dad has a lot of hospital things, so I don't remember which one we're talking about. Had brunch yesterday with my scrap buddies. It was nice. So my friend Katie had recently been to the UK for a month with her sister and done all sorts of interesting things. So we had a wee catch up, and that was kind of cool. And I had coffee just now with another friend who's moving to Dunedin. I might reach out to my Dunedin peeps and just see, are you happy if my friend can get in touch, because she doesn't really know anybody down there. She just moved down there for a lifestyle change, and might be nice to meet up with a few people just for coffee or something. She doesn't do cross stitch, but she's also a lovely person even though she doesn't do cross stitch. Got to have something wrong with you, right? And hers is she doesn't stitch, but that's all right. But I'm just helping her. She's got a job she wants to apply for, and it's a project coordinator role, so she just wanted to pick my brains on how she should write a cover letter and stuff. So I helped her with that, and she bought me a coffee, which was really nice. Did my ironing, got my sheets in the dryer because it's been too wet to dry them on the line. And I'm ready to get back into the swing of things and do some damn stitching over the next couple of weeks. See how that goes. Right, okay. That was 12 minutes of preamble. That's how I roll. Stitchy stuff. I've got a couple of things to show you that are new to me. First up, this actually did arrive last week, but if I'd done my video, this would have been all that I would have had to show you. It's my SILKS4U Silks of the Month, the club that I'm in, and it's these lovely, kind of in the 500 range, right? A little bit lighter. What are they called? Skeins of silk. So they're just the custom dyes for August 2023, numbers 1 through 5, and they're very pretty, and they will be really great for a substitution or something in the future. I am keeping these all together so that if I do want to do a substitution, and in most cases you might need 3, so if I wanted 3, I'd probably do like that one, and that one. I would have a little bit more of a gap between them, but you might want something really subtle. If you only wanted two shades, you might do like that one and that one, so you've got a couple of steps between them. Like together on a project, these aren't going to have enough variation unless you wanted something really subtle, because of course once you pull out a single strand they become a lot more similar on fabric. And I also, earlier in the week, had an appointment. My beautician friend, she's a friend but also my beautician, my esthetician, she lives in the same area in Wellington as do Anne and Judith. So having not seen Judith for ages, and she's just back from a work trip overseas, which she managed to fit in some stitchy stuff, but she gave me a lovely little gift, just a little piece of a fat 1/8 of needle and flax 40 count Thornfield linen, which is lovely of her. So thank you, Judith, you're such a special friend. And had a lovely little visit with her and her husband, hi Mark, on whatever night it was, Thursday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, I don't remember when it was. So after my appointment, and just, yeah, had a visit for an hour or so with them, and it was so nice just to have a chat and catch up. So beautiful. I have to find a lovely little project that'll fit on that. I mean, I have a bunch of projects that'll fit on that, right? A couple of blackbirds projects, but it's just lovely to have something new that I've not had before. Stitching, what have I stitched on? Okay, so I had start number 7. I started this on last Saturday night. Was start number 7 for my stash sampler starts that I have been doing with Narissa and a few others. Narissa is from Narissa's Stitching Lifestyle on YouTube, and she just has the most amazing samplers, and her sampler wall behind her when she does many of her videos is amazing. And just, I'm hoping, actually I haven't even talked to her, when I'm in Christchurch for the retreat in March, Narissa, can I come visit you and have a look at your samplers on your wall? Maybe we can convince her to keep her Christmas trees up that long to see all her Christmas decorations. So, but anyway, Frances Sweetlove, 1827 from Stone Street Stitchworks was my start number 7. That's on 40 count Oyster by Country Stitch, using my own overdyed cotton conversion. I am using 3 colours. Oh, here's the mock-up. That's the reproduction, and it's charted for 2 colours of cotton, a Classic Colourworks Eringo Emerald and Gentle Arts Raven, but I'm using my own overdyed whatever I had, and I'm just adding a blue in as well, just because I'm going to not have enough of the green. I've got plenty of the whatever I'm using. I'm written it down. And I got this far, so that's 3 or 4 days. So all the way along the bottom, and then those 2, that's all done. And then I'm personalising mine for my paternal grandmother, and this is her maiden name and her date of birth and her place of birth. And she was known as Beryl, so I wrote Beryl, which is her middle name, and I did that in the green. Beryl, it's not really Beryl Green, but like Beryl Green. Ironically, her name is Beryl Green. I probably should have done her surname in green as well, but I did it in blue because I'm weird like that. So yeah, Elizabeth Beryl Green, but I just did the Beryl in the darker name. And yeah, her date of birth, and she was born in Whakatane. I haven't taken up as much space as the original for the name, so I've got a little bit more space to fit a couple of doofers at the end. So it's charted with 2 little, like a crown and a snowflake, I think, or something. I don't know what I'm going to put at the end yet. I'm just going to leave it blank for now, so I'll just carry on with the next row. But yeah, I really love how those bottom 2 have come out with the 2 colours that I'm using. This is a Weeks, this is a Tom and Lily, and the blue is a Victorian Motto, so it's pretty. So probably the blue I use a little bit sparingly, but when I looked at this mock-up, to me it looked like there were 3 colours. Like for me, not the mock-up, the model, I sort of felt like some of it had a bit more of a blue tinge to it, and it could just be the photo. So I'm going to use like the blue in her name, probably the blue in here, and maybe one of the alphabets up here I'll do with the blue. So I'll only use the blue in maybe 3 or 4 places, and kind of have, so they're not, the colours won't be equally weighted through the sampler. I'll have the blue will be the least, and the green will be a middle amount, and then the dark colour the kind of majority. But I don't know, I'm making it up as I go along. I'm really pleased with how that's looking. So that was a nice little start, given that I had such a crap time before I started it. And then yesterday I started my 8th start for Stash Sampler Starts. I don't know why I want to go totally, I want to go Sean Connery, I want to go Sampler Starts, but because I can't speak English apparently, which is Prairie Moon, the red and the black 2. And this is, I'm doing this on 36 count Grandpa's sleeve by XJu Designs using SILKS4U black PR070 and a Victoria Motto Sampler Shop, one of the reds from the fabulous red collection, that's for Judith. And this I started yesterday, so the 23rd of September, which was my 13-year anniversary of my mum passing, so I always get a little bit sad this week. And yeah, I can't believe it's been 13 years, that's just ridiculous. So here it is. I got the bottom row of half of the alphabet done, and I've started on that little bit there. And there is some little bits of red to come in. There's a little, you know, like a 1 square red and 2 squares of red. So there's a little bit of red. It's hard to see on the mock-up or the model, just around. So basically working on this frame here. Yeah, so red's definitely like little bits of red, but I don't think it's quite this long, but this is just the width of it, and it's probably going to be about there. Maybe. I do love this fabric, it's so random, but it's cool. I've got like another piece similar to this inside, so I'm going to fit a bunch of little smalls. I had pulled some other fabric, but I'm thinking I've got all of Kitten Stitcher, what's her name? Shakespeare's Toddler. I've got a bunch of her antique series, so antique locks and keys, antique keys, no, I've just said that, antique locks and keys, antique birds and cages, antique crown, whatever. I've got 4. I think she's done about 6, but a couple of them I'm like, nah. I've got 4 of them, I think, and this might be really cool fabric to do that on, just with a black, and make those up. I haven't kitted I had them kitted up with some random scraps, but I might do something different, so we shall see. So that's my stitching. It's not as much as it could be, but again, you know, recovering from a rough month, rough couple of months really, that have really challenged me, and yay to feeling like I'm heading back to myself again. As talked about the last couple of weeks, it's still September. I should still be focusing on my long dog, the Quinto Acuto, the pointed 5th. So long goes well, I will do another couple of nights on that this week. I'm not going to get to what I hope to do, which is finish the bottom row. Just life is weird. But I also had decided I'm doing another start, so a 9th start for #Stash Sampler Starts. I've got Remember Me by Teresa Kogut that I have kitted up on 36 count weathered linen by the No. 12 Stitch Co, using mostly called for DMC and possibly a couple of overdyes. I've now put everything on a ring. I got the colour that I was missing. It's that one there, that was 3064, I didn't have it, so I've got that now. This, I might end up just going back to the DMC for this. I've got the DMC pulled for this. If I decide not to use the overdye, I'm kind of tempted to just use called for. I have still got the extra, the darker colour in here, so 355, because this is a substitute for 354. I might just pull for 354. These two were charted as overdyes and I've just substituted, but I'm kind of like, you know what, I might just do it in DMC because the DMC is beautiful. And this is just that I might want to put a bit of a darker tinge to it. I'm not sure yet. Like some of like these flowers where I think they're charted for a dark brown, I might just do the darker, that darker pink, flesh colour, whatever colour you call that. So I'm not sure, we'll see how we go. And that's on the linen. It's a slightly mauvey sort of grey linen, which is going to be pretty. So yeah, that I'm going to start today because I feel like it. I do have to do some prep for something for next week related, but I'll do that a little bit later, and Monday night, and I've got Tuesday night as well. So I've still got 3 nights to get ready for that, and I'm just enjoying not being in pain and being able to hear, and I'm just gonna enjoy that today and not stress about the fact that I haven't really done much housework for 4 weeks, and that's okay because I've had to put my sanity first. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. I will see you next week for sure. In the meantime, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.